Here from Prepare Like a Pro, and welcome to our live chat segment. Really excited tonight to catch up with Josh Fahey. He's made the All-Australian squad for 2021, so he's up and about at the moment with his footy, and really looking forward to catching up with him to discuss his footy journey today, as well as what he's looking forward to this year. So bear with me. I'm going to invite Josh to join us for the chat now. I've got a question for Josh as well. Feel free to use the question button at the bottom of your screen. Connecting with Josh now. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Here he is. There you go, Josh.
Hey, Jack. How you going?
Going well, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, going well. Living the dream.
You're bringing some good numbers. Popular man.
Nah, not quite. Not yet. Not quite.
Hey, my story went off.
Oh.
You had, I think you've topped Brett Deletio as in terms of story.
Right.
You got up to about 800 something.
Oh, it's some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, we'll get cracking straight into it. So take us back to the beginning. At what age did you start playing footy? When did your passion for footy really begin?
I played league and union my whole life till I was under 14s when I made the switch to AFL. So, and then played AFL 14s locally in Queanbeyan. That's next to Canberra for the people that don't know. Played at my local club was Queanbeyan Tigers. So yeah, I just played there, had a bit of run around with a few mates from school. And then 15s, I made the ACT national team underage and played over that was in Perth, that one.
For your first year footy?
Yeah, and then the year after I played 15's my actual age group over in Adelaide, and yeah, it's very out of the blue. I got picked in the All-Australian team over there. Might give this a crack. And then obviously 16's led into Rams, New South Wales, and then 17's was last year, but missed out on that due to COVID. Played a few academy games with the Suns, but didn't get any Allies games or anything, so that was pretty disappointing. But hopefully this year leads to a big year.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That's fantastic. I didn't realise that. So you started at the age of 14. What was the change? Why did you go from rugby to footy?
Well, in under 12s, I just, as you do, being a young kid, wanting to play every sport. I trialled for the New South Wales team. Never played a game in my life, and once again, somehow, I don't know how, but got selected in the New South Wales under 12s team. And I was just real random out of the blue. Just did it to get a day off school and then turned out there. So I thought, I'll give this a crack one day. And then rugby league and union, my local clubs were just heading a bit downhill. So I decided to jump ship. This answers another question a bit later, but Jason Gilbert was probably the main part of that. And I'm real good mates with his son, Geordie. He convinced me to come over and play a few games for the Tigers while I was playing rugby league and union still. And then year after, he fully convinced me to come play, and played league till I was 15 and then gave that up just to focus on footy.
Fantastic. And what attributes of rugby do you think put you in good stead for footy?
I haven't really taken too much because obviously I was very young when I played rugby, but I think my tackling probably resembles a little bit that I have played other codes of rugby in the past.
Yeah. You've got that dominant tackle.
Not dominating. For most of my mates, they'll say, I don't tackle or don't get any inside ball. And I just take the piss a little bit, but I love a bit of banter and cop it.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. And do you miss the game of rugby, or are you just completely loving your footy that you don't even think about it?
No, I do watch a couple games occasionally. Still follow it a fair bit. There's a couple games where you're like, I wouldn't mind playing a game or two, but I don't regret moving over to AFL at all. And obviously, potentially seeing myself at a club next year. Hopefully, everything goes to plan, but so yeah, once that was the goal, no matter what sport I was playing. So in the end, you can't really regret any of it.
Oh, absolutely. And you mentioned, was it Josh Gilbert or
Jason
Gilbert?
He was
he was coach, so he was a strong influence on your early days. Who else has helped you along the way?
Oh, it's been plenty. Jason Gilbert's probably the main one to get me over the line. And then Mark Armstrong, he's currently a part of the GWS Academy coaching staff. He's played a massive part because he's now at the school I'm at. He runs the talented sports program there, but also runs the AFL program. I'm pretty sure he played a few games for Swans back in early 2000s as well, so he's obviously got a bit of footy background. Very well-respected coach in the industry. Queanbeyan from Giants, he's currently the head academy coach. I've got a great relationship with him, and he's helped me a lot along the way. Same with Jason Saddington. This year I was up here with Rainsy, and he was unreal. He was the Allies coach as well, so yeah, he was one of the best coaches I've had, so cannot thank him enough for where I'm at today, and he's played a massive part of that. Obviously, mum and dad, the support they have to do, travelling, training, being younger, they had to do you had to rely on them for a lot, and they obviously did it, so I wouldn't be here today without them.
For sure. And
then two mates that probably helped me a lot was Harry Grant and Lockie Squire. Their training ethic is second to none. They're both over in the Adelaide at the moment playing Sandford this year, so I think they missed out on the draft, but I think their training ethic and how hard they work's finally showing some results with them. One's at Glenelg and the other one's at one's at West. Yeah, one's at West Adelaide and Northern Districts, I think, over in Adelaide. They're the two hardest trainers I've ever met. And probably at the end of 15s, I was because I still played league then, I was a bit hesitant. But then I met them.
So you're playing both sports, were you, in the winter?
Yeah, and then
right.
16. So them two at the end of 15s, I met them. Started doing pre-season before Giants training started with the academy, and I just opened my eyes to everything. How hard you actually got to work to get into it, and they obviously, like I said, they were the two hardest trainers I've ever met.
Yeah, it's important to see it, isn't it? Like you can hear about it, but when you see it, it definitely helps your development and understanding of what it takes. So that's great. Yeah. That's awesome, mate. So you've had some great support along the way and a good circle around you to help you with your progress. And it's obviously working. Congratulations for making the Australian squad. It was a smaller squad than most years as well, of 21, I think, off the top of my head. Normally it's around 50.
I think, because obviously I didn't grow up playing AFL, I think they used to have a similar program that we're running now. But obviously previous years, last year was Allies, and then they had 5 hubs, obviously Vic Metro, Vic Country, and then SAWA, and then Allies. That all had 30 players in it, so gone down from 150 to 21. So very very humble about it, but obviously making improvements and achieving the goals that I've aimed.
Yep. And take us through 2020. So you made a bit of a move and did get some footy in, so you made a good call there. Run us through your thoughts on moving and then what you're doing now as well, where you're living now.
So I moved to the Gold Coast in January. Dad got a job at the Southport School, very wealthy school in New York. That was his dream job. And then Mum hated Canberra just because of the cold and how wet it was and how shit it was. There's nothing to do there. He said it for years that she always wanted to leave. Then Dad finally got that job, so that was the really thing that made us get there. So we moved in January. In the end, it was a great move. Lifestyle's unreal up here. Can't complain at all, especially how lucky we were with COVID this year. Obviously, down in Victoria, then obviously didn't get to play any footy. But we had eight round games of club finals, a few school games, and we got 2 academy games in against Brisbane. So we were very lucky to get them in. Obviously, it's a very different view for us this year, because it's come out of the blue and very unexpected. But as I said, we were very lucky to get a few games in, and you just feel... And you're just very grateful because you saw how Melbourne went. None of them boys got it to play any games.
Absolutely, yeah. No, that's you're right there in terms of just to get a couple of games under the belt, and obviously it sounds like it was a good move for the family as well, where Mum got a bit of sunshine and Dad got the dream job, so win-win for everyone. That's a great result.
Yeah,
it's good to hear positive stories out of 2020 because there's not many around, so that's great. Take us through. You're now in 21, going from that off-season to pre-season mode now. What are some of your focuses at this time of the year for the younger footballers that we're probably watching?
Obviously, some of the focuses, building that. So far, it's probably been building that base, because obviously we don't play any games till our first game's May. It's usually March, so it's been pushed back 2 months for whatever reason. So generally, you'd usually aim to come back peak fitness around this time, January, leading into February, but I've just laid off the training load a little bit, so I don't obviously maintain and build a little bit now, and then goals to be reaching peak fitness in March, leading in, have a good 8-week block of peak fitness leading into them games we play Swans, I think, early, Bush Rangers, and then we got 3 NAB League games against all Vic clubs, which is very good for us, and very lucky that we've got to play the stronger talent over the course of 21.
Yeah, fantastic. And did you get exposed to some strong weight training in your rugby days with the strength and power work that the rugby boys do? Or
not really, because obviously back in 2015, 2016 when I was playing, there wasn't too much of that side of it. It was just more skills and just show what you can do on the field. Obviously, everything's changed now, evolving around these gym programs, how to get stronger, faster, more efficient. So not really. I didn't have too much access at all, really, through rugby stuff. It all started, really, Giants Academy.
Okay, and that's when you're introed into sort of your strength and conditioning side of things, or your strength and power sort of stuff?
Yeah, this year, because we've got a great strength and conditioning coach down there, Scotty Smith. He runs one of the best programs I've ever been a part of or involved with. And he'll play a big part this year into getting my goals.
And that's a great point you made in terms of timing your run, because it's impossible to be peak fitness all year round. So that's a mature approach. Is that something that you're all doing as a part of the academy that you've been briefed to do, or is that something you're sort of just going, that's your gut?
We haven't been given too much instruction regarding that stuff. We just get given the program to do.
Yep.
So I've probably just taken a little bit more personally, because at one point at the end of I just got to the back end of the season, finals time, when it's supposed to be the most exciting, enjoy it the most. Found I wasn't really enjoying it too much. And that was just honestly came down to training to being peak fitness from January to September. And you just got too much and you just got too much and you're doing it 4 times a week for whatever it is, 40 weeks a year. So I just found, especially going into the 18th year, that's going to be the most important year, obviously.
Absolutely.
So lay off a bit. Obviously, we don't play a game for another 5 months. So, obviously still, because I've done the work for Christmas and after now, so just keep that base, maintain. Obviously, training intensity is going to increase. So you'll still gain fitness from that, and then outside of that, probably add another running session or off-beat conditioning, something, and then peak in March, really. That's the goal.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. I think that's a great approach, and it's a good message to hear for younger players. Like you said, you've experienced that sort of burnout, and when the time that you want to be loving your footy, come finals and get excited about going to training, you've learned from your experience, so that's great. That's going to put you in good stead for the rest of your career.
Definitely as well, because younger blokes, as you see, younger blokes that are aspiring to play AFL, all they think they think AFL players, all they do is just train every day, all day, whether it's running. They think that, but I've trained at Giants AFL club in January started the last year, and it's very eye opening. It's very different to what you think. They're managed very well. AFL players, they're on very strict things what they can and can't do outside of training. And it's just such a well-run program down at Giants. But, I just think for younger boys out there as well, you don't have to train every day. You've got to be careful because that can lead to very serious injury, like stress fractures or something, shin splints, stress fractures as well. So I just think, personally, I've learnt the hard way, which you don't want younger people to do, but I have. And now, I'm thankful that I have learnt the hard way, because now going to my 18th year, I've got my mind around it, what I need to do, what I can't do, and just managing that load real well.
Yep. Yeah, love it, mate. Thank you for providing that experience and sharing what's worked for you in the past and how you're implementing that now into your preparation. That's great advice. We'll filter through and pick some appropriate questions for those that are sent through to Josh. We've got a couple of funnies in there as well, which is always good. This one, there could be, you're a big lad, so maybe there's some truth to this, but I'd be surprised if you bench 140 at 18. This is coming from Pat Voss. Here, mate.
Yeah, no, that's a lie. Actually, he did bench 130 the other day, 1 rep max, so he's getting very strong. He's down at Oakley. He's got a very tough decision to make. He's either going with Oakley for his 18th year or back with Giants Academy. So,
okay, what do you think he should do?
I'll let that out on the air for everyone to make sure get him on the Giants side.
Put some pressure.
Like I said, obviously, I'd love to have him, love to play with him. I grew up, he's got the same background as me, played league as well, till 15s as well. So I grew up with him playing. So obviously, growing up with me, I'd love to play with him in the 18th year. Hopefully, we both achieve our same goal. But it's down to him now. We've done everything we can.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see what he decides. This one's from, I don't know how to pronounce that, Queanbeyan. What's your favourite position to play?
To be honest, I don't care anymore. I played half forward, midfield up until 16s, and then Nationals got thrown at half back, and now played half back ever since. And if you told me I was going to play half back at 16s, I would have looked at you like you had 2 heads or something. But I thought, defending, not for me. But I found love for it there, and I think that's probably where I'll play my best footy and where I'll most likely potentially see myself as. But once again, I'm just open air. I'm not worried at all now. If I just capable of playing wherever I get told to.
Yep. As long as you're playing the game, hey? Tui, is he a cricketing mate? How's your cricketing career? So you played cricket as well?
Played cricket up until 15 as well in the summer. Yeah, so I played a fair few sports, as you could tell. Yeah, I used to play cricket with him. I think he's might have got a scholarship over in the US for basketball, so hopefully he gets done there, gets in there hopefully 2 years, gets into the NBA. But cricket career's long gone now.
Hey, this one's an interesting one from Lucas. Do you have a club in mind, or is that too far away? I'm
not worried at all. At the end of the day, all I want to do is get drafted. You get there, you don't care what number, how you get there. As long as you get there, I'm not fussed. It'll be mine. Obviously, still a very long way to go. Still 11 months away, so you've got to focus on all the other small steps to get there first, to get to that goal. But like I said, having a lot to do with the Giants, that'd be great to go there. I'm good mates with Tom Green. He obviously went there, pick 10 2 years ago now. So I wouldn't mind playing alongside him. But once again, I'm not fussed at all how you get there or what number. If you get there and goals achieved. But a lot of the short steps to get there along the way, which I don't want to look at the cherry on top. Because if you don't achieve them short goals, you're not going to get there.
Yeah, love it. You're nailing these spontaneous questions. Just any tips for young kids trying to come up through the system and better themselves? It appeared along the way already during this chat. So if you missed earlier, Hayden, make sure this will be save this IGTV, so you can watch at the start where Josh has provided some things that have helped him along the way. But is there anything else that pops up to mind, mate, that you've found?
I'll just briefly say again, like, as growing up as a kid, all you want to do is train, and that's how you create injuries and ruin your body too early. So I think you just got to manage that load, manage what you do. Obviously train a fair bit and do your gym stuff, do your skill stuff, do your running stuff. But I just think it's all about managing your load. And if you got things you need to focus on, I don't think you worry too much about your weaknesses, because at the end of the day, you're not going to get drafted if you don't have a strength or something that's elite that stands out. Focus on something that's elite. Make it elite, better than everyone else, and then go back to working on your strengths, your weaknesses.
Absolutely. This will be the last one from Ryan. It's around sort of nutrition, any supplements, protein powders or creatine from Ryan.
Oh, no, to be honest, I've never been a big fan, or not a big fan, I've just never really looked into it or worried about that stuff. I've just really just done 8 meals, like as you do, eat your meals you need to, but obviously now growing a bit older, going into 18th year, I've started to look into that protein stuff. But one thing I will say is make sure you look on the Asada app to make sure it is approved. I know a couple of blokes have been done that definitely shouldn't have, just because they were using muscle protein that was the wrong brand, that wasn't approved by AFL or Asada.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll give Liam Shelley's a go because he just keeps commenting about his questions. So he's snuck in there. Do you prefer your mates in Canberra or Gold Coast? There you go, Liam.
Oh, yeah, look, definitely Canberra, because they've played a big part of how I've grown up, who I played with, and they've got me over the line. They were the boys that got me there to play footy in the end. I was very close to up here, Austin Harris. He plays for Suns. I think he's a very good chance of getting picked up this year by someone. Obviously, Suns have first access to him, but yeah, I'm pretty confident he'll go. But yeah, like I said, Canberra mates I've grown up with. I'm very close with a few of them down there. Made a few good mates up here, but you can't really go past your childhood friends and where you've grown up and where I am now. So yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Fantastic. Well, we'll wrap it up. You've done very well on this segment. It's not an easy thing to do. You've taken on the challenge of getting out of your comfort zone and jumping on a live chat, which is fantastic, mate. So you're clearly someone who just puts themselves out there and gives it a red hot crack, which is awesome. What are you most excited about for this year, mate?
Like I said, hopefully, touch wood, everything going back to normal, not normal, but playing them games, obviously being a part of that NAB Academy. There's a game at Easter, hopefully play along with the best other 20 kids in the country. You cannot complain about that. Getting the best access to the best kids in the country with the best coaches around. And then, obviously, allies, being the underdogs, always have been against Victoria. So we play them up here on the Gold Coast. Round 1, so that'll be a cracker. Can't wait for that. And then our Giants games, we got 3 Melbourne clubs, which usually we don't get. We usually get 1 at best, so very excited to play them against, once again, the better players of the 2021 crop. As Nick Dacos, we play them round 3, so it'll be good to play against one of the best. He's obviously a top prospect for next year, so it'll be interesting to see how we go against the big dogs. But yeah, hopefully everything going back to normal and just playing against the best kids and getting the best coaching you can.
Fantastic, mate. Well, yeah, you're in good stead for it. So you're giving yourself your best opportunity, which is fantastic. And yeah, it sounds like you're in a good spot, which is good. So keep up the good work. And for those that have loved the chat, like I said, we will save this and post it. So if you missed some of the gems that Josh has dropped earlier in the chat, you came on late, feel free to check out the chat on Prepare Like a Pro IGTV. Josh is also our New South Wales ambassador. We've just uploaded his profile on our website, so you can check out a bit more information on him there. But good work, mate. Great having you on, and yeah, all the best. We'll speak soon.
No worries. Thanks for your time.
Awesome, Josh. Thanks for listening as well, guys. Thanks for your questions.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.